Good afternoon, friends. Welcome to my channel. My name's Justin. I play guitar on songs in Nashville, and today I'm switching back. A lot of you probably know what I'm talking about. There's a video that I'm referencing right now called Alnico versus Ceramic, and I swapped my speakers out in my favorite cab at home, and now I just want to go back. You know, sometimes you try new things. I didn't hate the speaker I put in it, but I'm gonna switch back to what I had before. But first, I wanted to give you some updates. The course is out. It has had such a great reception. I'm really thrilled. There's so many of these things out there that I was just worried that people are gonna be like, oh man, I got all this from somebody else, or something like that. Somebody in a comment on Brett's channel said it best. They said, oh, so Justin is teaching us how to fish, not giving us a fish. Man, that is exactly it. Exactly it. I don't want to just show you a bunch of licks that you put in your lick tackle box, right? And then you sort of assemble whatever you want to play out of these licks. I want to show you how to come up with things on your own. So that course is half price for a couple more days. I mean, once the sale's over, it's still only $69. It feels like we did so much more work than that. But right now it's half of that. So that's over in like 2 days on Saturday. So check it out. Link in the description, right? Let's move on. So here's my cab. This is my favorite speaker cab for tracking at home. It's a Morgan 112 that is shaped like his vertical combos, okay? So it's shaped like the PR12, but it's just a cabinet, right? There's no amp in the back of it. And it's an open back, and it's a good size, and it's a real sturdy cab. And I've got the Celestion Alnico Cream in it. I'm gonna swap that out and put my Warehouse ET65 back in it. I just love that speaker. It's so great. This has been really cool. Just to change things up, you know, you get so sick of your own sounds, even if they're great, that you just change things. You know, you intentionally stay away from playing a certain part, or you intentionally stay away from a certain pedal, or you put a guitar down for a while. You know, there's so much of, I guess, chasing the muse is kind of what you'd call it in this world, that I switch things up even though I don't really need to. It's still helpful. It's a way for me to stay fresh to myself, you know. So that's what we're gonna do here. So here we go. All right, I got all the screws. That one just seemed that one had to be coaxed out. Didn't have quite enough threads. If you're using too much pressure on the screw, it can just strip the threads out. You don't want to do that. So I've put toothpicks and glue in each one of these holes so many times. I'll probably end up doing it again here. Now the Alnico Cream I think sounded best with a tweed amp. With my Lazy J in particular, man, it sounded so good with that. But I don't know, I feel like everything else wanted the ceramic. The Alnico is so dirty, it breaks up so early, you know, and it has that sort of I don't know, I just feel like they have a really particular kind of speaker breakup that is added to your sound. You can hear it in a Vox amp, you hear it in tweed amps, anywhere that you typically see the old Alnico magnet. So let's get these panels off. What a great cab. And it just sits in my garage, you know? Like, it should be somewhere visible because it's so cool. I don't know, the lacquer has ambered really nicely. I had this cab out on the road with me in 2010 through 2012, my last road gig, which was David Nail. From 2010 to 2012, I was using Fender combos, or, you know, I would use a Princeton into this amp, which was super cool. I had a Tweed, sorry, into this cab. I had a Tweed Morgan amp that he made for me called the JO12. And man, that was a great amp. It was so good. It's so good that a couple engineers in town bought one. They really did. They went and contacted Morgan and ordered their own JO12. It's a 12 watt 5E3 circuit, you know, in a head form with kind of a voxy front end or matchlessy front end. That's what I feel like Morgan's thing is. Everything that he designs has that sort of what I want to say, bag of glass kind of Vox thing to some extent. It's not overwhelming and it's not overbearing or too present, but you hear that sort of Voxy front end to all of those amps, I think. So I keep that one in cartage, actually. That Tweed amp is my cartage Tweed. And Joe and I tweaked it. We put a bigger power transformer in it and put 6L6s in it. So it breaks up a lot later. But it's kind of nice having the extra headroom, because that means when I switch from my 6G, 6B Bassman to the JO12, I don't have a massive volume drop. The engineer doesn't have to reset my levels so much. It's pretty even with the Bassman in terms of output until it starts to break up. So that works for me. So in the course, you know, the idea is to help people come up with hooks, you know. It's one thing to learn licks and to copy things, you know, from other players. That's fine. I'm not dogging on that at all. I have stolen so many licks from so many people. I'm sure a lot of you have stolen licks from me on this channel. But that's not how you develop your own voice as well, you know. You have to really focus on, is what I'm playing adding anything? Is it a hook? You know, that's the biggest thing. Everything's a hook, from the drum pattern to your intro lick to the vocal to the way the bass player's playing. Here's the old Alnico speaker, pretty heavy. I'm gonna take a paper towel and put it under the terminal so I don't get any solder on the cone, and remove that. I'll set this down. All right, soldering iron, check, on. Gotta tin your iron, T-I-N. So I just do that over the paper towel. Man, it was cold. There we go. Beauty. Okay, and then, you know, a wire, even the insulated part of it, when you're holding it while you apply a hot solder to the other end, it'll burn your fingers. So I just use some little pliers here. And one, and we dropped a couple solder drips straight below. Glad I have the paper towel. All right, starting to flow. There we go. Come on. All right, positive was on the right. We'll see about the next speaker. If I remember, they're the same. All right, here we go. I think I have enough solder on these terminals already that I just really need to make it flow. I don't need to add more. Good. Also good. All right, so this means that every video that you hear me playing guitar at home, you're gonna be hearing this speaker again, okay, from here on out. So I'll get it buttoned back up in the cab, and yeah, we'll see you soon. Don't forget about the course. It's on sale for 2 more days, so it's so cheap. But even if you miss it and it's full price, it's only $69 at full price. It's half that right now till Saturday. See ya.